it well. But in the argument though, see, those people would even be like, they'd be bitchy. So I do know what they do, and I do know what they said, and I do not like them because they would be bitchy about, let's just say, like I said, that Chinese restaurant does a faux General Tso's chicken, and sesame chicken. They're saying that, oh, you're just eating something as a replacement, kind of like Claddy and the people that say they're off drugs, but they're eating methadone every day for years on end, and they think that you're just supplement, you're just fantasizing over meat and faking it by eating something like that, and that's retarded, I think.
Well, with that, we're finally live.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, so you would go live when I'm on a rant about something being retarded.
Oh, did you? At 11:30 Eastern. I was like, oh yeah, the planet spins. I forgot. Yeah.
That damn planet's
To be
spinning. So.
God's own time, formerly known as Central Standard Time. God's own time.
Well, I'm in that one.
Yeah.
Are you in that one?
Just to give my impressions, I usually ignore Blair White. I think she's just a twaddle. She's just a little, she's mouthing her conservatives or quote unquote cultural libertarian shit, and it's bored and shit I hear from 1,000 other sources. So yeah, yawn. But man, she got her shit pushed in by Onision. Because I watched Onision's response, because I didn't know what she was really doing. I figured it was like the usual stuff. It's like, oh, okay, it's her turn to go after Onision, and I thought it was the usual shit.
Right.
Oh my God. I don't know if she crossed the line or not, but Onision could sue her little butt. She is
what she do?
Really,
I saw her videos talking about him.
Really crossing the line close there to slander. Really fucking close. I'm not an attorney.
Well,
but
Jenny McDermott gets away with it every day.
I was about to say it was like listening to McDermott when she was going after Armored Skeptic. It was the same shit. And she don't give a fuck about those teens, or she don't give a fuck about children. She's just going after him because he's a feminist and has a large following. So he's an ideological enemy, so by any means necessary. So she's kind of acting like Christy Winters, too. Like I just tweeted out that. She's doing the same shit Christy Winters tried to pull on Sargon, tried to pull on Thunderfoot. Who was her latest target? Bering.
Yeah.
With that same fucking shit. Just character assassination, because you just don't like the person's perspective. So you're just like any means necessary. In other words, anti-SJWs not being any fucking different than SJWs. So she's right. Congratulations, Blair. If you happen to hear this, you're now the Christy Winters of the conservative side of the coin. Congratulations.
Well, see, I hadn't watched any latest videos on him going back to her, so I don't know what he said about it, because I cannot tolerate. All I've seen of him is what other people have shown in their videos, because I can't tolerate watching the dude.
Mm-hmm.
I have on occasion, because I just like mocking him, but I did happen to watch this on, because there was some back and forth, and somebody retweeted Blair's tweet about, hey man, that video about me. And it was just destruction. It just blew her out of the fucking... She brought a knife to a gunfight. Because, as much as I detest Onision, he is a formidable opponent. You better have your shit squared away if you're going to go after him. So, and she didn't. I hate to say it, like I said, I detest Onision. I'd like to see him burn more than more like your average Onision hater, but god damn, she got knocked the fuck out.
So what was?
Or was it saying he's a pedophile or something?
Yeah, he's creepy pedophile, getting chicks to, young little girls posing in their panties and all of this bullshit. And
Well, if you want to know the truth on this, I don't give a damn what their age is. Having a website where you ask women to send you their pictures and scantily clad codes so they can sit and critique your body for you, I find highly offensive in the first fucking place.
It's offensive, but it's not illegal and it's not pedophilia.
No, it's not. It's not. And, granted, the only argument that I saw that flat out,
though.
Yeah,
the only argument that I saw that was iffy was like the guy asking that his sister's pictures be taken down because she was like 13 and he didn't want those floating all over the internet.
Yeah.
And kind of sounded like he refused to do it.
And the pictures that I saw that he presented, because Blair is actually being dishonest. So, well, I'm not going to show the pictures, like making it look like they were so shocking. And I saw these.
She wasn't going to show potential children.
Bullshit. There were actually one picture.
No, that's what she said.
No, it was like, I don't know, young chick, whatever, 13 or whatever. And she was just fully clothed and, looking into a webcam, I guess. I don't know how she took the picture. And I'm all like, you're kidding me. That's how he blew her out of the water. Because Blair tried to lie. And she is a liar. And that's a shame, because there's a lot of shit you can nail and you see it on. And she blew it. But.
So it wasn't all that bad from what you're saying.
I'm putting a picture.
I can't see every goddamn picture on the site, but the ones he said, and this is what she was, here's the picture that she said she wasn't going to show. And I'm all like, shit, you'd see somebody like walking in the park or at a public pool.
Well, I just put a picture I was talking about with Platty of my niece in the Bumble Brigade thing, the DMs.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's 15.
Yeah.
And she could easily take a look. She could easily post pictures on his site, and you would never know that she's 15.
Right. But you also don't know if they're 23 or 29. But it's not anything provocative like she painted it. And you can think it's creepy. You can think it's wrong. But what she was trying to do was just outright slander and using the what about the children angle and trying to get people angry about it. That's shit you don't do. You don't throw around that, because that's shit, that's serious fucking business, because there are pedophiles out there and there are people out there grooming and whatnot.
Right.
And it's just an ideological pissing contest, and it is. It's just outright fucking slander, and Onision's video just fucking proved it. She better consult with an attorney if Onision changes his mind. I'm serious. It's like, whoa. I'm like, and she was, he was really nasty about it too.
Well, see, the thing is how was she supposed to, I guess I'd have to say in his defense, and how are you supposed to know? She even made the argument that was actually for him. It wasn't against him, when she says that no one puts that they're under 18 when they sign up for an account.
No, she wasn't doing that to defend him. She was doing that to say, see,
no. She wasn't trying to defend him. She was trying to say that, he should use some sort of superpowers to know that someone was underage, when, they all lie and say they're 18 plus.
Pictures that I've seen are not inappropriate, though. All the pictures I saw, all the people in those pictures could have been walking up and down the street and not gotten harassed by the police for indecent exposure or whatnot. I didn't see any like skivvy pictures or no nudes, no nudity. So
All I ever heard was scantily clad, but a lot of scantily clad, like you said, you can go down the street in it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to say she was defending him. I was saying that, in actuality, it was a defense for him. By saying that everybody lies and not going to say that they're under 18 when they sign up for accounts. Of course, they're not going to say that. Nobody does. She's right about that. So therefore, that made a defense for him inadvertently. Even though she wasn't trying to, she was inadvertently. Even though her point was, like I said, he's supposed to have some sort of magic powers when everybody says they're 18 plus to know that someone's not.
Right. But the thing is, it doesn't matter. And he also displayed his rules too. They made it quite clear that no nudity, nothing.
What is the date? What is the date stamp on those rules? Because I did check out his website earlier.
Proof that the rules were changed, and the rules were in place, and he reinforced a tweet before. Yeah, before she was ignoring data or just being really dumb.
Because I did check his website out earlier and on his forum. I didn't sign up for it, but I did see the rules, and he is looking for moderators, and that only happened in the last couple of days. So either he added those rules or he changed them in the last couple of days. So I don't have a history of any rules that came before the change.
He just showed timestamps. So that was another thing. But I'm saying, how could you have such a big, fat, juicy target like that and blow it so badly?
Yep. Because the other thing I did today is, that's mainly UK law. I did look up the law about child pornography and grooming, and it doesn't fit the category. I'm not saying he's not creepy. I believe what he's doing is quite creepy in my eyes. Yeah, it's only to give them positive body advice, whatever. It's like, you're a grown man. These are children. There are some things you don't ask little children as a grown man, because that's weird in my eyes.
It's like, how does my ass look in these shorts? No, he doesn't need to be looking in. He's not to be the one that's telling you that.
No, his answer should be, or that should be my answer.
It's not illegal, and it's not.
No, that's true.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but she's making it sound like she's trying to paint the picture. She beats around the bush a little bit, and the problem I have is these are serious issues. You're just using it as a political weapon, and that's bad news. Because that takes away from the actual victims.
Is she using SJW tactics against them?
Yes, absolutely. That's been a big thing with anti-SJWs now. It's like, you're no fucking different.
One thing that really that kind of raised the red flag once I sat down to think about it was, if this is all true, suppose that everything is true that Blair White said.
Yes.
Why did nobody call the cops?
Right. That's the other thing.
Why did nobody do that?
Well, that's the thing that we always ask when people make these accusations. Why didn't you call the cops and do some sort of internet shit?
Yeah. Why didn't you gather the information and report it? I guess he lives in Los Angeles, doesn't he, or California, somewhere. Go call them.
Or even even whatever the host of the website he has, Or
the FBI.
Well, about the host of the website, I actually contacted the website host today via Twitter in the DM, because the DM is open, and I gave them a casus or a theoretical example based on a real life example. And I'm still waiting for an answer if his website and asking for photos of young children, underage children, if that would be considered breaching their terms of service. And I'm not talking about children in fully clothed but scantily clothed. Would that break their terms of service? I'm still waiting for an answer on that one, because I went through the terms of service, and I'm sorry, I'm not in the mood to read 200 pages of legal text.
Yeah.
Well, damn, you was on it today, then you.
Yes, I did read up a bit. Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing is, well, I actually have a problem with a lot of them being called children.
Yeah,
I
when
mean,
they're
they might be underage, but if you're 16, you're not really a child.
Mentally, in my eyes, you are.
Well, yeah, mentally you are, but it's when I hear child, I'm starting. I try to think younger.
6-year-old.
Huh?
I only heard
You're-
dick dribble.
You're gonna tell me that a 60-year-old is mentally the same as a 6-year-old?
No.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that.
And what is it? I mean,
We're not mentally the same as a 12-year-old.
aren't. Well, it's 16 in England, I know.
Yeah, that's
Most-
the age of consent.
Well, in Denmark, it's 50.
Yeah, but
So-
I can tell you this: if I'm looking this from the Dutch point of view, the Dutch law point of view,
Yeah.
at the age of 18, you are no longer considered a minor, but you're not considered an adult as well. That's from the age of 21. So I would say there's a difference. I'm still saying if a child, and yes, I will use the term, is the age of 10, it's not the same as a child at the age of 6, but they're still a child.
I think the point between you being a certain age and having because there'll be different laws, as in like an age that under this age you can't give consent, period. Then there might be levels of consent, like with parental consent. Then like concerning marriage, then there also are usually some sort of stipulation I know we have this in Alabama, of what the age difference is, the minor and then the age difference of the other person.
The Romeo and Juliet laws. Here it's 4 years, I think.
I think it's 4 years here. And, but once someone, I would like to think, I don't know that they thought about this fully as to why they made those rules the way that they did. Not arguing with them. I think and in the take that I'm going to go with, I'll say, well, that would be right. In 4 years, you can gain a lot more, what would you call it, mental stability, self-awareness, cognizance.
It's really that we just need to put the line somewhere. There's no solid. It's like when you're 16, you're like this, and when you're 18, you're like that.
There's not. So I think that they're trying to.
Well, we need to put the line somewhere, just like
Yes.
There's a big difference.
Some laws are arbitrary, but there needs to be a line.
Yeah,
some people are slow.
Which side of the street do we drive on? I mean, it could be either way, but we got to make a decision which one it is. So we got to make a decision.
Well, I was going to say that some people are slow. Some people are mentally, they might be 22 and still very immature and there could be somebody that's 15 that's very mature that makes better decisions than a 22-year-old. So age is kind of relative.
Yeah.
But yes, there do have to be lines. But if you figure, like in that 4-year time span, how big of a difference in mental competency is there going to be? And I think that might be why they have kind of that kind of stuff in place. So there's not like a tremendous difference between that, because once you get a bigger age gap in something, then lived experience, everybody's favorite term, and what you come to find out is true and not true is is a big difference.
Well, I mean, I think part of that, the Romeo and Juliet law, the age gap thing, is like a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old is an age-appropriate relationship, you know, in my opinion. But regarding things like the age of consent laws, I think that, you know, they are necessary until another way of objectively quantifying, because there's no way to objectively quantify maturity.
I've gotten this argument too with people who wanted to do away with age of consent laws. It's all like, well, if you're going to do, why is it only about sex? Okay, you know, because when you have to turn 18 to be able to sign up for the military or sign a contract.
Yeah, and you can do that, but you can't smoke or drink till you can't smoke till you're 19, and you can't drink till you're 21. But you can sign your life away when you're 18.
Yeah, but you know what? There's actually data that suggests that those laws need to be in place. That there is.
And you need to look at it for each country and their history, why it is.
It causes a lot of problems. There's just data to back that up.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
again, to give you an example from the Netherlands, and that's it's already changed, but in the Netherlands you have to be 18 to get your driver's license, and right now it's 18 for drinking. But when I grew up, and that was in the 80s, when in my teens, well, if you were 16, you could go to the pub and get alcoholic drinks. That was not an issue. So that's completely different than the laws you got in the US.
Well, I was like reading and saying, and a reason that some of that, yes, needs to be in place is the repercussions of some activities. And also, I had read some stuff here recently that was concerning like young brain development and the effects of alcohol.
yeah.
And of course, the earlier that you start drinking, especially in the formative years, and what I don't know, and I meant to look up what the age is, but I think it's in the 20s when they say that the brain is like fully matured. I don't mean matured as in know how to act. I mean as in the growing phase and the development phase of the brain is done.
That's no, I'm not sure if that's the physiological part or the psychological part, but I think that's roughly around.
I'm talking physiological part.
I think that's around the
25?
age of 23, 25, something like that. Yes, it is also the awareness. A baby is aware of its surroundings, but more focused on itself. And in due time, that focus expands more towards the outside world. There's more awareness that there is a surrounding. There are other people, especially like in traffic. Most young children are not really aware in traffic. They will just cross the road and not be aware that there are cars driving, there are cyclists driving, motorcycles, etc., etc. They think they are the only ones in the world. And as soon as they grow older, that awareness widens a bit to quite a lot. And that goes into the age of, well, around roughly 23 on average, but it could be older, it could be younger.
I'm reading from, this is University of Rochester, Understanding the Teen Brain, Health Encyclopedia, and the rational part of a teen's brain isn't fully developed and won't be until he or she is 25 years old or so. Yeah. And recent research has found that adult and teen brains work differently. Adults think with the prefrontal cortex, the brain's rational part. And then you have to go to the rest to see. That's just the blurb for it. You know, when you do the search, teens process with the amygdala, and this is the emotion, and this is the emotional part. So I knew that it was that I thought it was in the mid-20s before and I've got my
your
brain was considered fully formed. So if you're loading it with alcohol well before that time, that you are. In the research that I was doing like a couple of days ago, that it was, very detrimental, as in certain parts aren't going to form correctly because it's pickled.
So, with that then, I think that the consent to marry should be pushed all the way back to something like 50. Already having a marriage myself, I can speak to that.
Oh, Alicia got married much younger.
Oh yeah. But I will say that 17 when I was 17 is much different than 17 today.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Because people got married younger and people were more, okay, is it not grooming for pedophilia, but you were more groomed to get married and have children at a younger age.
If you look at the generations, I would say before the 70s, you got married at a young age. If you were single and in your 30s, you were considered either an old spinster or anything like that. You would not never get married. You would actually be frowned upon.
Perpetual bastard. Yeah.
Yes. And now
That's
these days,
life was over.
yes, and these days, well, if you're living together, you have children, but you're not married, no one bats an eye. Well, maybe the religious people, but in general, no one bats an eye. It's like, nobody cares. So a lot of things have changed.
Yep.
There's also seemingly a significant difference between urban and rural.
Mm-hmm.
Where I imagine the 17-year-olds where Alicia lives are more mature than the 17-year-olds where I live, out of necessity and lifestyle and whatnot. Because a lot of the, like when you see the college kids, the kids, in, New York colleges that are acting like children, you don't see that at like trade schools in Alabama.
Right.
You didn't see it in the stuff in my more recent college stuff wasn't retarded like that. And I keep asking Leah, and she's there now, and I said, well, have they gotten retarded yet? And she's apparently not. So there's that. And, but I mean, simple things as there's not as many daycares. There's not as many fast food places. Nowhere really to go. People are more, you are more surrounded by your family because you are more isolated, and that's a lot of what you have. You learn how to cook at a young age. I babysat when I was 10. And I kept my infant sister when I was 12. And I knew I had no qualms whatsoever with taking care of a baby at a young age, because I knew how. I learned how to cook because you couldn't just run out to eat all the time because there was nowhere to run to eat. You had to make it. And so that just the life skill things that you need to, I guess, grow up and mature, you have to learn those whether you fucking want to or not.
Yeah, well, just to give you a simple example, there was a survey done in the Netherlands ages ago between the difference between children growing up in an agricultural area or rural area and in a city, and they polled children who were living in Amsterdam and Rotterdam. Where does the milk come from? Most of them answered, yep, that one from a supermarket. They went to the rural area. Where does the milk come from? Oh, from cows. And the children in the big cities, they went like, cows? What are cows? Do they give milk? They thought that milk, well, you go to the supermarket, that's where you get your milk from. and never questioned where actually the milk was coming from.
Oh, they don't understand.
Oh.
I've seen this, right, this type of stuff. Even, you know, it's not even ages ago, where they talk about like not understanding that, you know, that pork chop is a pig and that steak is a cow, and you know that.
Just real quickly.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
It is now 2017 on the Eastern Seaboard.
Yep.
Yeah, congratulations. Welcome to the current year, people.
Yep.
You lived, buddy.
I survived.
And he dies of a heart attack 2 minutes later.
I always laugh when certain like people make predictions that certain shit's gonna happen on a certain day, you know, like like the year 2000, like the shit's gonna hit the fan. And I'm like, well, what time zone? Well, it's already the year 2000 and such and such, and they seem to be making it. So yeah, it's like it's already that time there.
Doing Y2K updates anyway. That I already knew the problem was solved. The only thing was it's like, oh, let's see if anybody missed. Because there's always that doesn't get.
Been there
oh
too,
yeah,
beat.
and on the agricultural thing, in the agricultural areas, those kids are farming and working at young ages.
Oh, as soon as you can walk. That's the way it was in the
old people are out there on tractors. I drove a tractor when I was like 13.
Yeah.
I mean, not consistently, but my uncle was my uncle was a cotton farmer, and he let me play on it for a minute.
Yeah. I can drive a truck, I can drive a car, I can drive a tractor, forklift, and all those things. I don't have a driver's license, but I can drive those vehicles. It's not illegal. Well, it's legal till they catch you. That is, but
my brother worked on that. My uncle's actually worked on that farm doing that stuff when he was 16, and hard labor.
Yeah. In my case, most farmers went like, oh, I don't care if you have a driver's license or not, go drive that thing. Those cows need to be moved from one place to the other. You go drive.
Well, the way my granddaddy moved his cows is he had a pickup truck, which, by the way, he also let me drive, and I crashed it into the barn. And he had this horn that sounded like a big moo when you pulled it. So we always loved to be able to let us pull the horn, because the cows would come running. And because they'd heard that sound and they knew, it's the truck, it's the thing, it's feeding time. So, God, I was very young. I probably might have been 8.
You're a for real hick. No bones about it. Right on.
And I definitely knew where stuff was because my granddaddy behind his house and his pastures were a little farther away. But they lived in a neighborhood, and he had this area in the back where he always grew a garden, and he had a little barn. And he would bring a cow there to fatten it up for slaughter. And he would take us out there, and we would ride these cows. And then, you remember one day you'd be sitting down to Sunday dinner with a pot roast, and he always made it clear, now you need to eat that. You remember Bessie you were riding a few weeks back? Well, that's her. You need to eat that. That food came out of the garden. I worked hard on that. You need to eat that.
You never name them.
Well, he called them all Bessie.
Yeah.
I mean, to us, it was just something to us. It was just a generic something. You remember, remember that cow you were riding? He'd always say, remember Bessie. Because anytime he slaughtered one, if it was newly done, you were going to hear it. Because he wasn't going to have, but I mean, it was almost, in a way, it was to me like, oh, thank you. But, guess what? I ate that pot roast. But in a way, it was almost like That cow gave its life to feed you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I worked hard to grow this food. Eat it.
Yeah.
And none of this finickiness over. I'm not eating that. Because damn, it was good.
And it was good.
It
Oh,
was.
yes.
I can
It sure as
imagine.
hell. It
Oh,
sure as
fresh.
hell beats what you can buy.
Oh, fuck yeah. Ain't got
Hmm.
dyes in it, not going through process.
I mean, I tried to grow some corn one year, and was a complete failure. But I did get a few ears, and they were so good. I mean, I stood out there and peeled them, shucked it, and ate them raw, and
I
it was
used to do that.
delicious. It
Because
was
actually in
delicious.
California, there were people I knew that, there was a lot of farm area back in the day. It's probably a lot less now, more in the Imperial Valley, but
But it was riper than a lot of stuff you buy too.
you
So.
just buy it from the fields. Actually, there was corn there, but one that was great. You're driving along a highway and you just get these big bags of oranges. I mean, the big, fat navel oranges.
Mm.
Ripe as hell, and we bought them. I think it was like at one time it was $2 a bag, and then it was $5 a bag. But we're talking about 20 pounds of oranges. Oh man, I used to eat myself sick on those things.
We have up near my mother's house in Huntsville. There's a couple of peach orchards,
Oh man,
and they have roadside stands where they sell their peaches.
Oh.
And then they've started growing some other stuff. And oh my
they still got
God.
that in Washington State too. There's a lot of agricultural area there, out where my mom lives. So you still go, you see the fields in the back of the place where they're selling it on the road.
Yeah, you pretty much drive down the interstate on this place and see, all the, the peach trees out there.
Yeah.
And, there's apple orchards and peach orchards. And then they started growing some other stuff. And if I ever stop at that market, I'm just like, okay, buy all the shit.
Oh yeah.
Because those people have been around for a long time. My
Yeah.
grandparents bought from them. My mother's bought from them. And and it's, I guess they still do it. It's been a family thing for God knows how long. So the people know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah, well, I can remember. Well, I used to live in. Well, it was about. We're talking about 16, 17 years ago by now. I used to live in The Hague for a couple of years, and that's a big city in Holland.
Yeah.
And I was pretty much living, well, not in the inner city, but just in the belt around it, one would say.
CC is.
Yes. The
Yeah.
International Tribunal.
Court.
Criminal court and things like that. But I was living, well, just around the inner city, and there were flats everywhere.
Always sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
Some dog in the neighborhood can't figure out their car alarm.
Yeah, oh, those things happen.
This is my power source.
As long as it doesn't happen every night in the middle of the night, yeah, who cares? But
well, tonight you can get away with making noise anyway because it's New Year's Eve. People can make noise.
I bet you heard that. Should be letting off some mourners. It's only 11:09, you dipshit. Man, they don't care.
Yeah, well, just a simple example. It was autumn, and you had wild brambleberries growing everywhere. They're considered a weed by most. And in autumn, I went around all those bushes and picked all the berries from there, made jam out of it and everything. And people were looking at me like, is that even edible? It's like, well, it's just free food for you. Boil it down, add some sugar to it, you have fresh
Yeah,
jam.
we used to get, they grow wild all over, because my mother grew up in Washington, even though she left to go to LA. Yeah, blueberries and raspberries all over, or not blueberries, raspberries, just all over the place, everywhere.
Yeah.
You could just go out and pick them, and even eat them raw.
I have thornless blackberry vines out that I was growing in the front, and the first couple of years I had amazing crops from those things, and yeah, that was breakfast. Me and Lyd go down there and pick berries and just eat them.
Blackberries,
And it was just like,
blackberries, they grow wild around here, especially around canal banks.
Oh, platypus, you little devil, you.
What do you do?
He sent out a tweet with my tweet, the person below looks good in a corset. only if you're into bears, cross-dressing bears, I guess.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So speaking of bears, what happened to Bering after that whole copyright shit?
He's got a new bear and the channel's back up.
Yeah. He's got original work. That was just dumb. Did he really think he was going to get away with that?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's probably just something really, some stupid decision somewhere early along the line. Just keep going with it.
Well, I mean, he was selling the image on shirts and mugs and shit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, damn, it's one thing to use it in your videos, but to take it that far, it's like, come on, man, you gotta have some common sense.
Yeah.
If he just used it in his videos, then he could have gotten away with it. But as soon as you start using it for merchandise, you're crossing a line. And yeah, too bad for you.
Crossing a line when you're using it in your videos. Actually, I have to say.
Yeah. And I don't feel sorry for you if you get fucked over by a company. I'm sorry. That's your choice, your problem.
Yeah. I mean, he couldn't have. Well, he is from the Alabama of the Pacific Rim. Sorry. Alicia. Oh, man. They're the rednecks of the Pacific Rim, Australians. Oh, everybody else.
Shut it.
I usually say that by my Australian friends, they like start razzing on America, and it's all like, yeah, you're the Alabama and Pacific Rim shit. And they're like,
Well, I've had actually people from there that would totally agree. I mean, they just hate it.
Oh, you just go outside of the cities, the major cities, and it's country, just like what you were describing. And what do they? Well, their term for redneck is what? Bogan. I think that's what they call them.
I don't know.
No, I wouldn't know either.
We'll have no Australians tonight to tell us.
Yeah. I've heard it before. I think even Bering said he's a Bogan. Country boy.
Thank God I'm a country boy. I never go in.
God, John. We were texting one another jokes about the death of John Denver at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I know. Because we're evil like that.
Yeah.
I know. Pure degeneracy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, if you thought the exchange on Twitter was bad, you should have seen the text message exchange.
Trust
yeah.
me. In my it's pretty rancid.
Yeah,
well, there was one. What?
I said, yeah, the mail was rancid that they were using.
When we say, I don't know. He said something.
What?
And
kind of roboing.
No, it's not just you.
It's kind of like what you call secret tweet. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's always something of a sexual nature. It means something like, yes, if I actually tweeted this, I would get in lots of trouble. So you
Yeah.
have to, but you have to get it off your chest.
Well, that's what DMs are for.
Um,
Yeah, you're roboing.
that well, yeah, but I said, "Oh, this is why I love you." I don't know.
You're a robot, Alicia.
And
Water got the Mrs. Roboto.
Yeah, no one can understand you, Alicia. Your voice is roboting.
Here's a good tweet. 2016 is over and Willie Nelson is still alive. I'm going to take my clothes off and weep for joy in front of my neighbor's house. There's
what about Betty White?
She
Betty
made it.
White. Yeah, she made it. Betty White's a tough broad too, man. She always has this, sweet, demure outer coating, but she's actually pretty. She can get mouthy. I like her.
Oh yeah.
I thought Carrie Fisher was real tough until I heard about her death.
I really recommend watching her one-woman show because she talks about being raised. She was a Hollywood kid. She, Debbie Reynolds was her mom, and was that Bobby Fischer was her dad.
Yeah.
And both actors grew up in Hollywood. It's really interesting. You should watch it. So recommended. And of course, she deals with it with some pretty gallows humor. She's pretty funny.
No.
Yeah, I retweeted that Platty, and of course, all my degenerate friends love it. So.
Yep.
Or you retweeted it.
Oh, I know what you were doing. You were sarcastically saying something.
Oh, you cut out.
Shut out again.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah. You're so evil.
Point, Alicia, that you did.
But he doesn't want to make it evil. What'd you call it? Dark wit?
Yeah.
Yeah, gallows humor.
Well, that was I thought it was a very witty remark about someone you know personally, and that was.
Well,
that
it was fine. I just said it, and I might not have heard it when I said, "I'm sure Keith can find solace in some Bible passages in a BJ."
Yeah.
And I found that quite funny.
Yeah. I thought it fit the situation.
It did, because I told him that I was in total Schadenfreude mode. But then when it turned out worse than I expected it to be, I kind of felt bad. And that was his response to it. I was like getting like a little tenderhearted. Well, I didn't want him to be that hurt. And he's like, oh, he'll find some solace in the Bible passage in a BJ. Because he's a total fucking Bible hypocrite. And I so want to get on there. Because we found out like he's been in an adulterous relationship with Is for like 10 years, and her child is possibly his. His Facebook page, Bible verse, Bible verse, Bible verse. I'm holier than thou, blah, 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 blah. And I said, I want to get on there and start Facebooking, like, what does the Bible say about adultery? But it's my ex-husband, so I figured I best not. It might not bode well for Tyler if I start shit like that. I want to.
So, other shit that went down in 2016. What sucked the most?
Big bag of fucking suck. It's kind of hard to separate it all.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, only just one event that sucked the most for me. So, yeah.
David Bowie was pretty big, influential in my life. Musically.
I want to say that I want to think the worst thing that happened in 2016 is somehow or another, we no longer can call terrorists, and it's perfectly okay. We can make excuses for people that are terrorists and try to remove them from being a terrorist.
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah. Well, it's true. I mean, it did become more like, oh, we're going to defend them. And, oh, we can't say anything, you know, offensive to them. Or we can't, not all Muslims. And
I see a lot of people slagging on Muslims.
well, I know that, but I mean, in
There are people who will defend them no matter what they do,
yes,
because they are a marginalized group.
Been far between, actually.
Madness more than men.
I don't think so. Every time there's an attack, let's just say, and the person even says, I'm doing this, like maybe they're on a rogue attack. Maybe it's not a scheduled or planned or anything like that, but they plan it. They go do it. And they leave things saying, I'm doing this because of Allah Akbar. And then, where it's very plain and simple, if that's what they're doing.
The IRA are all Irish Catholics. Or the Irish Catholics in North. Okay, you know the situation, how it was. Did they do it in the name of Catholicism? And did the British government attack the Catholic Church every time they bombed something?
No.
It's there's political shit going on here. Like,
well, I've always said that the Christianity is much older than Islam.
An intelligence officer, you come to me, well, it's because of the Koran, and I'm all like, I just look at you like you're stupid. It's all like, no, it's because this guy's family was killed in Aleppo or some shit like that. There's other motivations. That's where they go to once they're already ready to go fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Well, there are things, I make a distinction from things that the IRA did and certain other groups. Like the IRA would hit like a British military vehicle. I mean, yeah, and like Northern Police.
They bombed targets in downtown London. So.
Yeah, they didn't just target military targets. They targeted Margaret Thatcher hotel. They tried to blow up and kill Margaret Thatcher. That's political assassination. They targeted civilians as well. The only thing you can...
Elizabeth's granduncle, Lord Mountbatten.
Yeah. The only thing you can say positive about the IRA is that in general they would call ahead to minimize casualties.
You're going to sit there going over the catechisms of the Catholic Church and trying to find out their motivations or who to blame.
No, I've read the catechism. I can't think of one.
So why is this different? Because you know it's absolutely political.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, wait. What I was trying to say, though, is the person will say this is why they're doing it. Even if they're a rogue person doing it on their own, they will say that. They will flat out say it. They'll come along to defend them and say that, no, they just did it was not that, and not wanting it to be that. But
I'm saying you need to look at it for more reasons than, it's this evil.
No, they're in that box. There's some green ones, I think.
No, I agree there are more reasons, but that doesn't mean Islam is not a problem. There is problem there. Mainly the people who follow it.
Wait, we have the strange one, by the way.
They will use
the Bumble. 11:30.
Yeah, they will use their religion and in the name of.
That was an hour ago.
I was trying to come and get.
And that's something the IRA didn't do.
Well, it's going. We're on.
Hold on.
The IRA didn't bomb because in the name of their religion.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, ISIS does bomb in the name of religion.
Do you think these assholes, if Islam didn't exist, these assholes wouldn't be doing what they're doing?
I don't know, to be honest.
I don't.
Yeah. It would be something else.
Well,
because there was also pan-Arabism, which was secular. There's a lot of terrorism going on with that.
Well, I mean,
the PLO.
Oh yes.
Would you say would you say that the behaviors of people were more or less, let's say, absurd, like the hardcore religious groups started taking power? Like pre-Islamic Revolution Iran was nothing like post-Islamic Revolution Iran.
Kidding me? A fucking police state under the Shah.
Yeah, I know, but the whole the religious shit, the crazy religious.
What difference does it make?
Oh, Jesus. You want to use that line?
What difference?
Well,
They're being
I think religion.
people, and they need to be dealt with.
I mean, I think that religion is a really good, much better recruiting tool than political shit. Because the whole you're doing it for your country, and
There was Pan-Arabism, and a lot of this, and a lot of the lingo that these people use. Yes, they couch it in religiosity, but a lot of it is anti-colonialism, resentment, being under the heel of, the great, they can call him the great Satan or the Farang or whatever.
I'm not even worried about the people doing the stuff. Well, okay, we can be worried about the people doing the stuff. What I'm saying is the people that consistently defend them and try to make it out like something wrong is not going on.
Yeah.
Does that make better sense? That there's not a trend. That it's not a trend. That we don't have more of this happening.
None of those people are taken seriously. Not by intelligence agencies or governments or anything. None of those people are taken seriously.
Of course not. Of course not. They're not taken seriously. But even if they only kill 12 people, 12 families lost somebody that they loved. But we're not going to take it seriously. No, it's not a national attack, but it's still done for the same ideology as blowing up the World Trade Centers. They just don't have the means to do damage, but it's still, to write it off as not important.
Yeah, well,
people that were close to the situation. I don't live in France, and I was not there on Bastille Day, but I'm sure those people that occurred to weren't real happy, that happened.
My point is, I fail to see the utility about attacking religion just in and of itself. I don't
even care that I'm not even attacking the religion. I'm saying I'm attacking the people, not attacking. The ones that.
Oh, you mean excuse it because they're brown people and they're oppressed?
Yes, that.
Yeah, that's what you were angling for.
Because I was going to go, the next thing was going to be, as in, all right, Black Lives Matter. If we want to say that one guy who's the head and that is an official organization, go for it. All right, then we got these rogue people out here, things by themselves, killing cops, doing this, and they say they're doing it for Black Lives. They were not really affiliated with it. They were just saying they were doing it for that. But, do you hear Black Lives Matter standing up a whole lot and saying, we do not condone this activity?
I believe they did.
No.
Yeah, they did. Actually, they did.
When the murders, they did.
Reporting that because it doesn't fit the narrative. Because agitating the racial divide has a lot of benefits for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It sure does.
But did you know that
that's what I'd ask for, is just to at least acknowledge and say you didn't call for this, so a lot of other people don't get rogue and do it themselves.
You know who these assholes were? They were actually members of the sovereignty movement.
The what?
White thing. Yes. Actually adherents of the sovereignty movement.
Well, I mean, I had said previously regarding the BLM shit is that it does not function so much as an organization as tied to stupidity. like the people say some ridiculous shit, hashtag Black Lives Matter. It's like if you're gonna do something stupid, you got to tie that in with it. Like you can't
or a banner to excuse their stupidity.
Well, I mean, in a legitimate organization with legitimate complaints, it.
And by kind of
Did you cut out?
trying to?
Did you?
Somebody just, I think, it looks like everybody's still there.
I'm here. Alicia appears to have cut. Tasha, you're muted. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Y'all don't hear me?
Okay, now I hear you, Alicia. Never mind.
Well, unfortunately,
Hey,
with the
Tasha.
iPhone 7, I
Hey.
cannot charge my phone and use my headphones at the same time.
Well,
Let's
you do,
roll on asphalt for getting that.
That's why I got a Motorola Android.
Alicia, do you have the latest iPhone by any chance?
Yes.
I'm sorry for you.
I don't know. The bottom line with that whole thing is that people who do criminal acts are the ones responsible and go after them. End of story.
Well, it kind of consolidates the mob mentality, though. Like,
Knows no border and knows no boundary.
I know, but I mean, but like what I'm saying is that the BLM is less an organization and more, a cool banner that you can attach and gather people under when you're going to do something stupid.
Well, that's that kind of the concept of leaderless resistance has taken hold.
Well, Black Lives Matter in and of itself probably had good beginnings, but now is really just the war cry of black nationalism, black supremacy.
Oh yeah, because they got co-opted by those assholes. They actually got
Yeah,
co-opted
yeah.
by those screw morons.
What did you call it? What kind of resistance?
Like Black Hitler. The hell's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you call it
Gazi
a minute ago?
Yeah, those guys actually co-opted BLM. Probably, a year. It started about a year or so after fucking Missouri, whatever the town up there is. They were actually making good forward progress in dealing with situations like that. And they screwed the pooch, and then there was that fucking rich kid, the whole Mizzou thing.
Oh, fuck Mizzou.
Yeah.
They're
So.
an SEC school, and they have declining academics, so yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of it's kind of burned itself out. Yeah, this whole thing with like SJWs and fucking all this craziness, it's because I've been around the block, I've seen waves of this happen before. And it is like a wave. It crests and it goes away. And 10, 15 years or so, it'll be back again. So.
I just hope they haven't gotten too stupid this go around.
It seems to get more stupid every time, at least from my perspective.
Well,
Politically correct was just came into parlance in the 80s.
If you want to take that position on it, then every year the whole world gets stupid and stupid every time. Like
we're sweet meteor of death, where art thou? Just ended already.
Y'all remember how batshit insane 2015 was? And then look what it got replaced with.
Yeah.
I'm still in that.
Just wait until after January 20th. This shit's gonna really get good.
I'm not convinced of that. I'm really not convinced of that. I did not support Donald Trump, but I'm not really convinced that it's as bad as people are thinking.
Yes.
One side of me is a liberal Democrat. Of course, I'm sad. But then there's that evil political side of me. It's like, I get to go on the attack again.
You're going to enjoy Trump way too much.
Oh, fuck off. Oh, it's gonna. You know what? The day after the election, I went out looking for salt, and these people were so surprised. It's like, oh, Beach, you supported Clinton. Why are you fucking with me? Because I can, bitch. Because what you now, you're on defense. I get to go on the attack now. I don't have to defend shit. It's like, it started sinking in. It's all like, that's right, motherfucker. You own all this shit. Every time Trump fucks up, or when they start cutting fucking Social Security benefits, SNAP, and all of that shit. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's right. I have made it my personal mission to never let Sargon forget that he campaigned.
Oh, he did. He did.
He did.
Never. I will never let him live it down. No, he actually tried to lie. No, he didn't.
He tried to walk that whole Trump shit back, and it didn't work.
No.
Yeah.
Videos, it's all like, motherfucker, you electioneered. You stuck your nose in my country. Now you own it. And I'm going to make sure you own it.
Well,
Every
he
fucking
was on some actual talk show thing that I watched of him, to where they were asking him about that. And, he was, I think it was after he'd already been maybe accused a little bit of being a Trump supporter. So he was backtracking a little bit, just down to the, well, I don't necessarily love him. I just think Hillary would be a big mistake.
Yeah, he was trying, well, bullshit. I don't care. You define yourself politically by what you're against as much as what you're for. And what he did, he electioneered by running attack ads. You run attack ads against an opponent in an election, that means you're supporting the other side. And he did support it. He actually lied to people.
He did a lot of videos on that.
Yeah, he lied. No, he lied. There's that, I think I saved it. Oh, yeah, go ahead and vote for Trump. He'll support benefits for the poor, welfare and benefits for the poor. He won't fuck with your health care. It just lies. Just lie to get what you want. And now it's time to pay the piper come January 20th, because that's when the fun begins. I am going to so make him regret. I've already got my betting pool on when the first indictments are going to come down.
Well, see, from what I gathered from people in other countries that were really interested in this and say promoting one or the other, there's a particular Australian, but that
would be Tasha.
Echo.
Ow.
She's muted. There we go. Alicia,
You guys
you're
hear
back?
me?
Yeah.
Do you have headphones? Use them.
Yes, I'm trying to work them. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, so
Again,
it works without the headphones.
We have an echo.
It doesn't.
I have an echo now.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Let's try this again.
Do I now?
Do I?
Well,
Yep.
I think Alicia is echoing Tasha.
Alien spaceships landing.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me? I have the headphones in.
Well, I hear you fine now.
Okay, cool.
See if I kill you
I
now.
had headphones and they don't work, so I can't put them in. If I put them in, you guys can't hear me.
Tasha, where are you?
In my room?
We'll go across the house.
Why?
Would you like to share a microphone? with Alicia.
Okay, hold on. Let me try this. My phone's gonna die.
All the more reason to share a microphone with Alicia.
Is that a statement of battle or a threat?
Hey, Leah.
Hey there, Alicia.
I'm still getting that echo.
Yeah. There we go. She's muted.
Looks like they're both muted now.
Yeah,
Dope.
but they're gonna get themselves situated, and then hopefully they're gonna come in on Alicia's phone.
So, oh geez, I was looking at it the other day. It was the original SST where I came up with the tinfoil hat, and we were discussing that one site that had a whole lot of like personal info and shit. It was essentially a site for doxing. I'm trying to remember what the name of that site was supposed to be.
Encyclopedia Dramatica?
No,
Farms?
that was something that happened in 2016.
You mean Baphomet on the Chan boards?
No, this was we were all I think it was either late March or
Oh! When it was like an app or a program or something to dox trolls.
Yeah, it was it was put forth like that, but everybody saw it could be used for other shit, especially for harassing people.
Oh, you're talking about goddamn Zoe Quinn's bullshit?
No. Well, ZQ and the other ones, they didn't like it.
It was. I think I know what you mean.
Words, I think.
It was it like an Indian chick who made it?
Yes. Fuck me. What's the name again?
Fucking the thing that was being shilled by like Armored Skeptic and TJ.
Yes. Oh god, it's on the tip of your tongue. Candid, yes.
What?
Candid.
Candy?
About that, yeah. Candid.
No, I think it was 2 words.
I got nothing.
You know, it was probably in the title of the SSD. I'm gonna go look for it.
Why did that come up?
What?
Oh, he's thinking of some tool or something that it was supposed to be to go after trolls, but it.
I now forget why I was bringing it up.
Started by that.
You were holding up a sign with your address details, telephone number, and everything.
No, it wouldn't have been that. Wait a minute. When was I holding up details?
Several times, actually.
Is it the address of DeChevreau Field, right across from Albertson Stadium?
I didn't remember the address.
That's not where I live.
Yeah, give the address to Wrigley Field, like in Blues Brothers.
Well, that did kind of factor into it, like. But yeah, I wanted to see if anybody actually tried to look up where that place was at the time. But that was months ago when I did that.
That come up.
I'm social autopsy. That's what it was.
Yes,
oh, yes.
That's it.
Yes,
That's
it was the words, right?
What did
The
you
one who
say?
Street by that black woman. I can't remember her name.
But yeah, we were. It wasn't an SST because an SST was like the next day or something. Now, why was I trying to bring that up? Other than just shitty things that happened in 2016.
I think that train of thought decoupled a while back.
Oh shit! Yeah. Why was I trying to bring that up? I know it was a shitty thing that happened in 2016, but
Yeah, that was 2016.
Yeah, it was 8 months ago.
But it was Randy Harper and Zoe Quinn were trying to like muscle her.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you're working our side of the street, see? Yeah. They were trying to like bully her and gaslight her and fucking all that kind of shit. That's when people used to talk, brought up the fact that Zoe Quinn was a goon from the Something Awful forums.
Yeah. Wait, what? I'm just looking at Woolie's old videos now. That was in the same time frame. Like, what the heck was penises? Oh my! What was that?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but
I don't know. I know what
Glad
the
you
penisode
read that.
was.
Yes.
The penisode was.
I also know what a penis is.
Penisode. Like episode plus penisode.
Nah, that's not what it's titled here. This was like 8 months ago.
No, the only penis episode I know was on my stream, and that was after the stream has ended.
Yeah, true. That was when.
And that was including Free the Boobs.
Yep, free the boobs, and y'all saw my sack, and one of the people saw everything.
Yes. And we're blaming Kevin for that one.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
Kevin's fault.
Yet again.
Remember vaginal essence beer?
Well, I
Oh,
could be
dear.
really gross and say I've really seen everything now.
Yeah, true.
I'm just looking at these videos from like 8 months ago on Woolie's channel, and like, man, 2016 got really weird too.
Oh,
What
yes.
event are you trying to link it to?
No, I'm just looking at it now since I've already forgotten what I was trying to bring up.
Well, we were reminiscing about Eon's stream and the after show.
Yeah.
So, what happened in that? Like, give me the details. Might as well.
Okay, so Alicia accidentally took too much medication. She was a little loopy.
Oh, okay. Part of this.
she was
Not accidentally.
Yeah, you got bitten by a spider or something, and you had a major infection, I think in your arm or something. You got medication for that, and you were high as a kite.
No, I think it was
Yeah,
you
I
took.
had a breakdown because I had like this really bad bone infection, osteomyelitis in my hip, a long time ago, and it damn near killed me, and I couldn't walk for like a year. And when I went to the doctor that day, they were talking something because it's right on the your forearm from your elbow, so it's on that right on the bony part. And I said something about the thing, and she said, "Well, oh no, that's too close to your bone." And my elbow, it's because those things generally sit in a joint, and my elbow was red and swollen and all jacked up. And anyway, she kind of implied that I was in danger of getting a bone infection. So I came home and had a meltdown about it because I'd already been there and done that one time, didn't want to do it again.
Right.
And so I took medication myself, 2 different kinds, that was okay for me to do in order to chill me out. It did not. And I was having kind of a big cry fest. So Tasha called my son at work, and she's like, "What do I do?" And he's like, "Give her a Klonopin." And he was like, "A whole one or a half one?" And it's like, "A whole one." So she did. And then I got naked.
Yeah. You
total
took your shirt.
That's a total logical display of events there. It's okay. I took these pills and then I got naked.
Well, she took
I
those
did
pills,
not mean for that to happen.
and
Yeah.
and she got loopy, and then she kind of took off her shirt, and she was sitting there like in her bra, and then look, we got to go to the after show, Eon, so you don't.
Yeah, it was 7.5
That
hours
was
into
the
the
first
stream, and
stream.
I had to end the stream like, this Alicia's getting too crazy right now. she couldn't be stopped anymore. It's like, let's end the stream so she can go full mental here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a discussion of, like, somebody brought up an exchange. Alicia would show her tits, and I think it was somebody else who brought it up that they would show their balls or something if she showed her tits.
Well,
And then
it was
came up.
Great, I'll show you yours if you show me mine.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
as far as I can remember, Alicia
Yeah.
went like, well, I'll show you mine, but you guys and as Pearl have to show yours as well. And we're not talking about the tits anymore. And well, I clearly said no. As far as I can remember.
I was the only one who was willing to own up and be
Yes.
like, dude, I'll do it.
Yeah, and Alicia tried to call Kevin out on it, like, well, we're doing it, so you have to do it as well.
Well, I ragged him for a long time on that because it's like he would you know how he do, he keeps saying something about things even on Twitter, and I'm like, well, you need to put your money where your mouth is because so far you ain't shown shit, and I'm not showing anything else. I think he's going nether regions that time.
In my defense, I was just trying to help her.
Well, we all got to see her tits as a result, and they all got to see my balls as a result, and she got to see my peen as a result.
Well,
So I think it was a good day.
So
We were supposed
What?
to see Kevin's balls.
Yeah, well, Kevin's a pussy. You saw mine.
Yes. He said every time, I'll never get naked on there. But he's like, free the cooch and free the minge and all this stuff. And I was just like, man, you put up or shut up because you've not shown anything but your feet.
Let's not talk about Kevin.
No.
No, I tell you, this is fake.
I don't care.
why do I have this memory of getting Platty to somehow put his dick in his own ass? Why do I have that memory?
That was an after show, and there was some sort of discussion about how long the penis would have to be to fuck oneself in the ass, and I was bringing up the point.
It's one of my scientific experiments I proposed.
2016 got weird, man.
Well, basically, I said that I could reach the entryway, but I couldn't put it in.
Oh, that's right, because of right angles and shit. Right.
Yeah, and in order to get in there, it would have to be erect, and you cannot have erect 180 plus degree U-turn penis.
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure on which website I saw it, one of my dank, dark meme websites. But I did see a WebM video, a guy actually doing it. And in a weird way, that was quite impressive.
Yeah.
How? Like, I think we came to a conclusion that physics didn't agree with this. I'm very curious as to how this happened.
Well, in this case, size does matter.
yeah, it very much matters for this to work.
Like, it's just it, because it has to go around and then
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, see, that was the thing. I wasn't counting on the erect part. I was just meaning, like, could you actually, like, get the tip and whether you needed to go through the, like, where the little seam is, or if you needed to go around the balls in order to make that happen. Tasha felt the need to mute the phone to say they know that women can suck their own boobs.
I can lick my nipples.
I told her you could lick your own nipple because I've seen a picture of it.
sure, picture. Yeah.
You just thought we were degenerate.
It's an actual fact.
Yeah,
You might need a bigger word.
Oh yeah. See, I'm in the room in which she visited for a week, and yeah, we are.
Yeah, I knew it. I could detect it. Degeneracy.
Well, oh shit.
That would be being held against your own will.
What? You were a very willing and eager
No,
participant.
you said something like a detention. Like
No
a
take
detention.
No take backs.
Oh, you saying we needed detention that we like, not like I was detention. It was a detention. I thought he was
I
saying.
heard
that,
you
like,
were
I was-
very eager.
Where did you hear that from? I didn't say that.
Oh, yes,
Specific.
you did.
I didn't
Yes.
say anything specific.
No, not specific. Just said eager.
Okay, yeah, I did say eager.
Yes.
Can we talk about someone else's sex life now?
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay,
Wow.
I nominate Tasha.
Turning it around all over,
No, you.
and now you're all upset. Everybody talking about it. So make up your mind.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, Matt brought this stuff up, and we've got a long, sorted little history here, and yeah, this will start the whole thing again about let's just wait to the end of the stream where things get really degenerate, and
No.
it's just that wouldn't want to bore you people. When we come up with stuff, we study it. We're scientifical.
Yeah.
It's just like, I had to do an experiment to see how long a penis had to be to hit the G spot.
Oh, that's right. We were being scientifical and whatnot. Right.
I used my own fingers and see how far it took to reach, and then I measured the depth, and I figured out about 3 inches.
Well, science can be very enjoyable at times.
Well, for that part, on me, 3 inches. I know it varies by woman.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Stupidity gun. Fingers will be lost. All the people letting off fireworks. We got 3 minutes to go here.
Aha.
I'm glad fireworks in my town aren't a big thing at all. So
Well, let's see. What other fucked up shit happened in 2016? Like,
Oh, we already covered the BLM shit, like Mizzou.
Well, BLM came to my town, but they didn't do anything interesting.
Yeah. See, all of that, all the protests down here in Dallas were like, even with that bullshit going on, were handled pretty well. This is part of the South. They know how to deal with this bullshit. Lots of experience with racial tension.
yeah, I bet I'm burning crosses and a few other things. Oh, hold on, that's Alabama. Sorry.
Oh no, the Klan was pretty active in Texas too, back in the day.
They're still active in North Idaho.
Yeah, those are kind of like the leftovers, not from. I'm talking about the old halcyon days of the Klan, when you had them as mayors and sheriffs and even governors. You don't really have that.
Yep. David Duke made it to Louisiana state representative.
State rep, ran for the Senate too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm really fucked up that David Duke made it to 2017, but Kerry Fisher didn't. What the hell?
Only the good die young and no rest for the wicked. So yeah, look at all yourselves in the mirror because you're still alive with that.
Yep. And despite every prediction to the contrary, Keith Richards knows how that is the case.
Yeah.
Who is this?
Devil shit going on there. So.
Oh yeah. Speaking of devil shit, hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Who's still alive?
Keith Richards.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I was listening to someone and they were talking about like David Bowie and who was the other one?
Prince.
Not Prince. It was another older person. Anyway, they were saying
Any
that that
bigger?
was not a tragedy. It was a miracle that they made it that long, considering their lifestyle. So bringing up
Yeah.
Dave Richards reminds me of that. That yeah, considering the lifestyle that they led. David Gilmour's 70. He's still kicking and touring. So is Stevie Nicks.
Well,
Keith Richards has looked like a zombie for 20 years.
yeah. Well,
Yes, it is now the new year in my time zone.
Yep. Happy New Year, Alicia, Tasha, and Beach.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
well,
Yeah,
I
she
still got an
really did
hour
pop
until
her kids.
2017.
So someone is still living in the past.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm living it. Yeah, a lot of ways Idaho does live in the past. Yeah.
Yep.
I've just gotten to where I kind of like, I think it's kind of neat. It's like time travel.
Well, so what's Micaiah doing these days?
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask about that.
Who?
I saw a tweet from her. Somebody retweeted it.
Yeah, she has a new Twitter account.
Yeah.
She makes videos once in a while. Last couple of videos were these are my last videos, and well, here's another video, and that's it. That's all I know.
Who?
I know she was in a car accident not so long ago. She had to start a GoFundMe.
Car. That's right.
Yeah. She did publish a video at one point explaining why she
So
some issues.
she is the right pronoun now, or I'm confused.
I believe he is the correct pronoun, but I don't think anyone ever gotten that correct.
I think Wooly did, and then like I accidentally got it right once, and I think got it.
Well, I mean, she said she answers to both.
Yeah.
That her husband, I think, also regards him as his wife,
Yeah.
and not his husband.
Yeah, at least Micaiah doesn't go batshit crazy when you use the wrong pronouns. So.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Well, she's not looking to stir drama. So that's just who she is. So.
Yeah.
So Micaiah's would be the last of the bunch, really, to get into 2017. Then.
Yep.
So he's living completely in the past then. Huh?
Yeah.
So what do we want to have happen?
Oregon.
So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do in 2017?
Smoke meth and hail Satan.
Too?
Well, I'll hail Satan. I'm not smoking meth.
Yeah, I'm
I can
not.
tell you what.
It's a popular Satanist joke. You know, instead of keep going, carry on. It's smoke meth and hail Satan. So, what do y'all think will happen in 2017?
Oh, it's Boeing.
Yeah, we've heard your plans for late January. Yeah.
What?
Oh, that's going to go on for 4 years, man. I'm just going to go on strafing runs every day.
Beach.
And you're content to keep it at 4 then, huh?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You're content to keep it at 4 then, huh?
Ain't my first rodeo, boy.
Well,
Do you have a Periscope, Beach?
Periscope account?
Yeah.
No.
Well, if you're going to be doing it every day, you might as well get one.
Oh, yeah.
So you can go live with them bitches. I'll follow you.
All right, I'll have to go check it out. I'm just on the mobile for now.
Oh, that's
Big
what I
part of
use.
the degeneracy.
Oh,
Yeah,
will be much degeneracy. That
you
I
have
can
to
go.
have your mobile for that because you just turn it on and it's live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'll have to go
That's why
check it out.
when you want to go bitch and you're filming other stuff, so you see stuff and or you can
Yeah.
A lot of cackling and guffawing and laughing. Actually.
Yeah. Well, like,
I know what's coming. You got to remember, I became, as a, political junkie ever since I could walk. I pretty much came of age in the Reagan era, so I know how to play this game.
and what is your strategy here and what's the end game?
Just wait for the lulls to roll in and the salt to be mined. It'll just be there just to take. And then the midterms will be a fun time. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the midterms.
Don't you live in a land of Trump supporters?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Actually got within less than 5 points here, which was amazing. I did not expect that.
What, the fireworks or the?
Yeah. Oh no, fireworks. I'm expecting. As you
Yeah,
say.
we got stuff off earlier, and it sounded more like gunshots and fireworks.
Yeah.
I could hear it, but I could see nothing.
That doesn't sound like gunshots.
Well, my neighbor's outdoor lights were on, and I thought, did he get a little too drunk? And he carries like 2 guns on his person at all times.
Yeah.
So he could have very easily gotten out and he's like 76. He drinks from 5 till 5 in the morning.
Oh,
Drinking.
one of those, man. Drink till morning, till morning, huh?
Yep.
yeah.
And he plays online poker. And but he's inclined to get riled up from time to time. So I'm like, he's got a light out in front, where in between his garage and his carport, that's like a security light that comes on motion sensor.
Yeah.
And usually there has to be motion out there for that to be on, but then he also has lights that he can turn on. Well, these lights that he can turn on are rarely on. And nothing was over there to do the sensor. So I really was thinking, as close as it was sounding, that he really was outside firing his gun. I'm still not convinced he wasn't.
Well, I might actually get going on my other channel in 2017. Just doing stupid videos.
Oh, I guess I'll just do vlogs, because I'm not gonna like edit them or anything. I'll just be like, "Hey, Sargon, fuck you."
Any
Fuck you, Zordon. Fuck you.
is there any future for Blue Chat?
We're working on it. Everybody, yeah, it's really, Grace kind of like saying that, I have to, I'm kind of like the ground for the show, so probably when I get my situation together, then it'll happen. But yeah, that'll probably still get off.
Individual situation.
When will you get your shit together?
Oh, I thought I was going to be out of here by the end of the month, and then there was a new hitch. The light at the end of the tunnel was an oncoming train.
Yeah, that's what always happens when you actually try to progress as an adult.
Yeah, and well, it's just some shit that's just out of my control. I mean, it's just because I thought it was like this situation was finally gonna be resolved, and yeah, move on, whatever, go over the new horizon. But now it just dragged me back, and I'm kind of like in wait mode and waiting on other people, which is always fun. Always.
Well, we just kind of figured here.
Either, yeah.
We were taking note the other day, and it's like, fuck the rest of the world and their problems in 2016 and this political stuff or anything. On a personal level, like within our family, the amount of shit that has occurred has been ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like Joshua Center Station, when somebody said what else happened in 2016 earlier, she said, I totaled 2 cars in 3 months.
Wow.
Yay!
Her
No,
children
it's horrible.
entered
It
into
sucks.
Do you get a medal for that? It's like about to get a
I should have. It fucking sucked.
Yeah. Thank God for car seats. The car flipped and their kids' faces hit the roof, but it was just from the impact. Broke their noses and blackened their eyes. Their eyes are still a little black. It's taking a while to heal.
all the years of driving, I've never gotten it. I've never wrecked a car. Or even
I-
had an accident.
I
Well,
unfortunately totaled 2.
Yeah.
the only time I've wrecked a car, it was a completely avoidable circumstance.
Awesome.
Well, okay. You know what? I'm telling the story. This was almost 10 years ago to the day. Actually, this was early December 2006. It was my last final to take at BSU, and I had work that day, and plus I wanted to go screw the brains out of my fiance at the time. So, but I was running on like zero sleep. So,
Yeah.
so
Good.
I do the final. I ace it just fine. It was a server hardware final, if I remember right, and the instructor was getting rid of some shit. So I was taking a 2U server server box in the back of my Ford Tempo at the time, and driving down Fairview, and I lose consciousness for about 3 seconds. And when I come to, I'm about 3 inches away from the back of a car, which I, of course, then proceed to slam into. And, yeah. And guess what else I was going to do right after work that day? Get car insurance.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I had to explain all of that to a really nice policeman who's actually pretty nice, and a understandably aggravated Bosnian woman. And my mother, she had actually found a really shady auto insurance lady who backdated all of my insurance paperwork for the day previous, for that day, just so I wouldn't get financially ruined for shit. Yeah. This was completely avoidable because I downed something like 4 or 5 different monsters, and the wreck happened at 10 a.m. Yeah.
I got in an accident. One accident in my life. I was 18 years old. I had recently gotten a new to me car, and so I was gonna get with my '92 Buick Century, and I was gonna go to a girl's house and say hi, look how awesome I am. And at this period in time, technology was not really used by many people. I had a MapQuest printout, red light, and I was looking at this MapQuest thing, and I hit the lady in front of me. And then to make things just wonderful, when I get to the girl's house, because she's grounded for being a little shit. She was 16 and I was 18, so.
Oh shit.
So I wrecked my car for nothing. In an accident since. So, and that was 11 years ago.
Wow.
Well, yeah.
I think I've only been in one that I was driving, the one that actually counted. Now it's like 16. Now I've been in plenty of cars that have caught on fire and maybe tinily backed into a post or hit a deer.
Or
hit
gotten
a deer.
stuck across the train tracks.
I thought that was a rite of passage in Alabama. You got to do that before you're yeah.
What? Have a wreck?
No, hit a deer or have a
Oh,
wreck.
yeah.
Hit a deer.
Done that plenty of times.
My God.
It's just, yeah, it's unavoidable. Just about everybody's hit a deer.
Yeah. Well, I haven't hit a deer, but they do love to roam around in my neighborhood, which there's like a couple patches of trees around. And they love to dart across the road between patch of trees A and patch of trees B.
Mm-hmm.
The suicidal motherfuckers, and then you got to be real close because once you see one Bambi, check out for Bambi's buddies who are just lurking there waiting to jump in front of your car because they're suicidal. It's but I have not yet hit a deer.
Nope, I don't really manage that either. I've driven in areas where there are deer too.
I've run over a dumb cat.
Well, our suicide highway,
Oh,
and they decide they're going to dart across that from like right from the side of the road where you can't see it, so you hit it. And they bring the whole family along. You know, so
Hey,
even if
everybody.
you dodge one, you're going to hit the other one. I
Yeah,
hit one
Tasha.
one time not long ago.
I'm about to get ready for bed. My kids will be up at like 6:30 in the morning.
and
All right.
I've actually been up since 5. I'm going to drop out too, but I'm glad I got to jump in and talk to y'all. I haven't talked to y'all in a bit, so.
Yeah.
And mobile again, so make sure it works so I can jump on in the future. So let's have some
Yeah.
hangouts. That's one good thing we'll have in 2017. Some rockin' hangouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have service now.
Alrighty. So happy
Happy New Year's. Go to bed, y'all.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
Bo.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
Tasha.
Bye bye.
What shit any other shit we want to do for 2017?
Oh yes, I've got 2 things planned. Similar to you, an alternative channel to my main channel, which will be mainly about electronics, do-it-yourself, and repairs, tear parts, things like that. Basic stuff, nothing too complex.
Yeah.
I really want to get back into electronics, but it's been like 30 years since I last seriously worked with electronics. Better said, I had classes in them back in the day. Yes, it was still the 80s. And on my main channel, I want to do something completely different for once. Playing board games.
Ooh.
Yes, it's a weird thing, but I have several board games here, and we're not talking about Monopoly. To be honest, I would most likely take way too long for a hangout, but I've got Seen It, Doctor Who edition, and then the DVD edition, so you have visuals as well. All those type of games, though, they're a bit shorter to play and should be a lot of fun to play. So that's something I'm going to do on my main channel and do a hangout in hangout form, of course, but just play games, have fun.
Do you remember the old Apple game Oregon Trail?
Yep.
Yes, I never had an Apple, but I know that game.
Well, a friend of mine, I can't actually talk much about it because I've signed an NDA, long ass story.
Yes.
But a friend of mine is making that into a board game.
Ooh. Actually, that's a pretty smart idea. The game itself is suited to be a board game.
Well, there's certain modifications and stuff and other details that I'm under an NDA for, but yeah, the dude's actually pretty serious about making this. He just haven't got as far as getting the rights for it either.
Yeah, because I think the game is still being made or is still copyrighted by the company, right?
Probably. He wants to talk to a lawyer soon. Is my feeling about it. Yeah. I think I mentioned this same friend before because to Joe and Wooly because we were looking for. I remember at the time we were looking for YouTube channels that we thought didn't get as much attention as they deserve. And,
Yeah, I remember that.
And Brock, he had a YouTube channel, so I just kind of put that in there as a lark. It'd be funny if he started getting like a lot of views over the videos he's posted, though.
Yeah. Because for me, I got a bit tired with the whole politics and identity politics and
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I'm sorry. That has been rehashed so many times by so many people. Yeah, I'm done. I'm sorry. It's preaching to the choir in my eyes these days. So that's why I want to do something more with board games. Go in a completely different direction. I have several webcams here. My computer is pretty heavy, on the heavy end. Well, mainly for gaming, as you can see. Well, this is just Minecraft, but I can play heavier games than that. So I can attach two webcams, run OBS, do everything I want to do, and do a Hangout, share that again. I've got everything in my head right now how to set it up, and it is possible. And just have fun with it. I won't be playing myself because someone needs to move everything on the board. So I'll be somewhat the game master, so to speak. But I want to do something with that. It sounds like a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
Is diplomacy the name of the game where you kind of like is that the name of the game with it's set up kind of like an Axis and Allies type thing, except you gotta negotiate with other players and you can stab one another in the back, and there's less, it's like not reliant on dice rolling type stuff. It's more like actual let's gang up on Team C.
All right.
Have you ever heard of it?
No, I haven't.
Let's see if I can find it on Wikipedia.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, most games, all the board games I've got here so far, well, except the older ones, I do have Axis and Allies, but I bought that 20 years ago, almost 25 years ago. It was quite new. And a few other games I bought years ago, but most games I buy these days, board games, I buy them in a charity shop secondhand for barely anything. So I pay maybe 50 pence, maybe £1 for it. So I think the maximum I've paid so far is £2 for Trump the Game, fully sealed. Yes, that will be sold soon enough after his inauguration. But
It's not actually true.
I think for 2017, I think Queen Elizabeth is finally going to die.
Yeah, I think she did.
I'm surprised she made it this far. And apparently she's been ill for several days, according to the BBC. So,
who?
Queen Elizabeth II.
Oh, her.
Yeah. You're living in her backyard, I think.
Yeah. For now, because I'm really going for independent, Indie Rev 2. I'm a big supporter now. I disagree with the fact that there's a second independence referendum so shortly after the first one, but with the whole Brexit shite and what I've been reading, I'm sorry, but I'm fucking scared of me living here in the UK and my family right now. And we're not talking about physical threats or anything like that, but what the fucking government is trying to do. I shared a Metro article from the 12th of December last year. I can actually say last year in the DM group. You actually have to read the last paragraph, the last lines in the article, that Theresa May is now using European immigrants as bargaining chips. And it's like, no. I will not be held hostage by you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, if the European Union accepts British citizens into the country, then there is no issue. But as soon as that changes, then we're going to kick everybody out. Basically, it's like no. That's not how it works. There have been people living here for decades, and you're going to kick them out.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. So I don't know. For once, I'm not a person who's easily scared, but I'm scared actually.
Fucked up situation.
It is, and especially if you look into the details about the whole Brexit, £350 million a week. Yeah, that was a lie.
Yep.
The fishery, yeah, that was already declining well before you entered the European Union. Yeah, after you entered it, of course, it did decline a bit more, but it was already on a very low point in 1971 or 73. Go look up the numbers. I've got the numbers on my other computer. It's it's ending here. It's not connected to it, but it's on there. A lot more. It's all based on lies and half truths. It's like, nope. If the campaigners had been honest, then the whole Brexit vote would have gone south straight away. No one would have been interested.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
But
enough.
Do you think a new referendum will happen in 2017 though?
Yeah, the way it is going, Theresa May has to present her plans soon, otherwise she will be kicked out. She has to. What are your plans for the Brexit? How are you going to deal with it? Nicola Sturgeon, I'm not an SNP supporter. I don't like SNP, but in this case, yeah, she is trying to do her best and for the best interest of a lot of voters here in Scotland who said pretty much in a large majority, we'd rather stay with the European Union than go ahead with this whole Brexit nonsense. So she's trying to do her best, and if that doesn't help, she's going like, well, let's have another referendum. We're allowed to do so. So good luck with that. So I don't know how this will go.
yeah, I had previously thought Scottish attempts at independence to be kind of stupid, but now that there's the Brexit, I do think that Scotland should secede or break its independence agreement, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, I'm still pro-union. I believe that the unions should stay together, should work as one unit, equally, all countries equal, etc., etc. Yes, but the way things are going right now, I'm going like, screw that. Maybe independence isn't so bad.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only one who's thinking that. I saw a piece in the Dutch news media, not too long ago. There is a self-made millionaire in London who actually sued the government about the whole Brexit. He said, I do not accept the vote of the voters in this case. Parliament should vote for this. They should not be excluded in this. Look, and one of the arguments he used is there is so much uncertainty right now, it's hurting business. And I mean business in a very bad way. There actually still are very extreme austerity measures put in place. They actually worked. The economy since 2008 has been declining in the UK because of the banking crisis.
Right.
Together with the austerity measures put in place, it is, well, till before the Brexit vote, was actually getting better. Slowly, but it was getting better. And after the Brexit vote, there's so much uncertainty that it is going back into a decline. Well, I'm using his words right now. And he said, well, I'm going to sue the government for this one. And that's in the courts right now, or has been in the courts. So yeah, there's a lot of weird things going on here. And I wouldn't say that's for the better in general. But yeah. So yeah, for me, there's a lot of fears right now about the whole Brexit thing. And I'm not the only one. I know friends of mine who moved from Holland and other countries in Europe to here, and they're all in the same position, going like, I don't know if I'm allowed to stay anymore after the Article 50 is invoked. And these are people who are paying their taxes, have jobs and everything. And they are even worried. Most of them simply don't want to leave the country. But yeah. So, 2017.
So, are you ready for King Charles then?
I'd rather see no monarchy at all. I'd rather see a full democracy here in the UK.
Well, hopefully the people actually get to say something about that.
No, I doubt it. The sentiments towards the royals are, they're pretty high here, the same as in Holland. The royals are accepted by a very large majority of the people, and we're talking about well into the 90% of the population says we accept the royals as head of state.
Is there like a pretender to the throne of Scotland that would be in line should Scotland?
There might be, to be honest, but as far as I know from British history, everything got so fucked up ages ago that there's only one royal family left.
If I remember right, the others that would have been claimants to the throne were all killed or something.
Yeah, or married, or inbred, everything else. The whole royal family. There's a reason why I think Elizabeth is Queen of England. Her husband is the Duke of Scotland or something like that. I'm not too sure, so anyone can correct me on this one right now, or in the chat, or in the comments, whatever. But yeah, the royal family pretty much owns all the other, former royal houses of Wales and Scotland.
Yeah, I forget what happened with Wales.
Yeah.
But the current king of England at the time became the Scottish king, or maybe it was the other way around. But yeah, they just sort of became the same thing.
Yes.
Yes, but if Scotland was no longer affiliated with the United Kingdom, they would have their own.
Well, they would probably want something like a republic, or at least a democracy. Then I would imagine.
Or would it be like the Commonwealth, like how Canada and Australia have as their monarch?
I don't think so. I think England or the royals would be completely rejected as a head of state in Scotland. Actually, well, if Scotland succeeds from the Union would break up. Because keep in mind, the Northern Ireland doesn't want to break away from Europe as well.
Yeah.
It would be the death of the Union. And I think if you look at it on a political level, I don't think the Tories will be in power for much longer. There will be a lot of chaos on a political level. Because
We'll just have chaos everywhere then.
Yeah, the whole Westminster needs to reorganize. You've got parts of the union breaking away. There is not a very strong sentiment in Wales to break away from the union, but there is a sentiment there. It would be comparable to Canada. I think it's Quebec or something that wants to break away from Canada. Yeah. But it is a very small minority that wants to do so. But if a union breaks up, that sentiment could become a lot stronger. But yeah, it is. We don't know what the future will be when that happens. We can only speculate right now.
Did you say you were going to move?
Well, yeah, it depends a bit. See, the problem is that, Alicia, as soon as you get a chance, I posted an article, a scan from the Metro in the DM group, Woolies DM group. You should read that, mainly the last sentence that's in there. Let me look it up. Bear with me. Right, I've got it here. Right, last sentence. Theresa May has previously said the status of Europeans in the UK could be guaranteed only if rights of Britons living in the EU were assured. Basically, she's saying, unless the EU assures that Britons can stay in the EU, or the expats who are living in other countries, if they're allowed to stay, then I'm allowed to stay as well. If that doesn't happen, I'm not allowed to stay anymore. And that's scary.
You're a citizen of Holland?
Well, I still have my Dutch passport, but Holland is no longer my country.
Yeah.
I've been away from that country, well, except for the holidays.
Well, I knew
I've been away for almost 8 years. I could move back, but it's no longer my home. Scotland is my home. Britain is my home.
Yeah. Well, I knew you didn't want to.
No, but I will be forced to do so. And I've got a baby here she is British. She doesn't have a Dutch passport. My wife, she's British. She doesn't have a Dutch passport, even though she lived in Holland, so she speaks Dutch and things like that. But they both have British passports, so they're allowed to stay. I will not be allowed to stay if that happens. So I'll be deported. It will break up the family. Trust me, you don't want to be near me when that happens.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't like violence. I deplore violence. But trust me, if there is no other way, I'd rather go to jail for the next 20 years so I can be next to my family than be in a fucking other country and never come back again and having little chance to see them again. And that's the direct effect of Brexit. And I'm not the only one. There are 2.8 million Europeans living in the UK who are in a similar position.
So,
oh yeah, right. With all the discussions, that was an emotional argument and did not apply to a whole debate about Brexit.
Well,
I like
no, it's not towards you, but I had several discussions, and that was never a proper argument for some reason. But yeah, sorry, continue. I'm a bit sarcastic.
So I just don't. I don't quite get, so like Scotland would be separate again.
Well, Scotland voted in the whole Brexit referendum, voted in majority to stay with the European Union. Northern Ireland did the same thing, but because the Union, all the 4 countries together, is considered as one vote, they added all votes together, and then you get, what was it, 52% said we want to leave the European Union, and 48% said we want to stay. But if you look at it for each country,
Yeah,
then
all of Scotland voted to stay.
Stay. Northern Ireland voted to stay. Wales voted to leave. England voted to leave. So
is Holland not in this bunch?
No,
No.
it isn't.
I was thinking that was the case. I just wanted to make sure that I was understanding.
No. Now, in my case, if Theresa May has her hissy fit and says, well, all European citizens need to leave, then I would be deported back to Holland. And Holland is no longer my country.
Well, I knew there was something to that effect because they were even talking about, like, free travel from country to country that you've been able to do.
Mm-hmm.
That, would not be able to do.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, Britain never agreed to the Schengen Accord. And the Schengen Accord is the accord between most European countries that there's an open border and freedom to travel between European countries. And that's humans as cargo, transport, goods. And I am free to settle in any country in the European Union.
Mm-hmm.
Britain never ratified that agreement or that accord. Yet they said, well, we'll make an exception. European citizens are allowed to settle here in Britain, and British citizens are allowed to settle in the European Union. But they never ratified the Schengen Accord, as they didn't ratify so many accords, but they ratified a few accords. Britain has, how to explain it? The official word I'm used to is status apartis. So they have an exemption status within the European Union, like most other countries have. Norway is in the same position. They ratify certain agreements, but they said we will not ratify others. Norway, for example, does not have the euro. Britain does not have the euro.
Right.
So they only ratify the agreements that's beneficial to them. Any other agreements, they say, well, that's not beneficial. They don't have to agree to it. As a result of that, Britain is excluded from certain talks because they didn't ratify certain agreements. It is a very political game they're playing. But Britain has a lot of freedom within the European Union.
You have to just decide, hey, well, we're not going to do that one.
No. If I were to look at it from American point of view, and I think you need to help me. The states in America, do they need to accept all laws passed by Washington, or are they allowed to have their own laws that apply only to their state?
They can have laws that apply only to their state, but ultimately they're subordinate to the federal government.
All right.
See, because one of the glitches that we have in that is that by federal law, marijuana is illegal, and it's a Schedule 1 drug that cannot be prescribed. But they have they have not interfered with the states having their own referendums and voting for either medical or recreational marijuana. They're letting the states have at it, basically.
Yes.
states' rights kind of thing. I figure they're just waiting on enough states to do it and just say F it. Kind of like the gay
Mhm.
marriage thing that certain states where it was legal and other ones that did not until it, came to the point that they had to take a stance on that. So, they can have laws that override. States
Yes.
can have certain laws that can get very confusing
Yes.
when you travel from state to state because you don't know, what you cannot do. And but then, they can override, but then there's kind of like that kind of sounds like that deal there, or we're just gonna overlook this and let it happen.
Yeah. Well, if you were to look at the European Union from an American point of view, that would be all states are their own country. They don't have to accept certain laws if they or agreements. If they say, well, that's not beneficial for us, we will not accept these. Yet they're still part of the United States of America.
We tried that. That was called the Articles of Confederation. That stuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it would be quite similar to that. Well, that's what we have going on in Europe. You have separate countries, but they're working together. But not every country accepts all the things the European Union proposes. They have a certain amount of self-determination. They can rule themselves. It is a very complex situation. Let's put it this way.
Well, I think for all of them, when it comes to the political nature of that kind of thing, it is
Mhm.
a difficult situation.
It is. It is.
I mean, it's
Oh,
just like our the state chief justice has been basically booted out of his position
mhm.
because when the Supreme Court um, legalized gay marriage, he put out to all the judges in the state that they were not to marry anyone
Mhm.
and just refused to do it. Kind of like that Kim Davis woman didn't want to do it, but I mean, this guy actually put out to all of them not to do it, so they didn't have to. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Which they found out, yes, they did, and Mr. Fancy Pants Judge Roy Moore, who thinks he can do everything, is yeah, I don't know exactly what they call it. He's suspended without
Yeah.
pay indefinitely.
Yeah. He's not fired, but it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
put
he's
on
the one,
indefinite leave.
he's the
But
one that was a judge. He's the Ten Commandment judge. If you remember that happening over here,
Yeah.
the guy refusing to take the Ten Commandments out of the courthouse and they fired him. Same guy.
Hmm.
But he did that for his own purposes because he knew that if people thought he was being religiously persecuted, when he ran for governor, people were campaigning all over the place. Well, that didn't work. So this time he went for Supreme Court justice thing, and he did get that. But he used getting fired from a regular judgeship for not taking the Ten Commandment statue out of the courthouse as a thing like, oh, poor me, they fired me because I was trying to be all religious and I was trying to uphold our values. And
yeah.
now I'm trying to get elected to a higher post. Vote for me. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, that little ploy of his worked for many people.
Yeah. Completely forgetting about separation of state and church.
Oh, he
And
doesn't want to do that one.
no,
Huh.
no. Goes against his religion, of course.
Well, you're letting people do all kinds of fornicating and gaying and
Hmm. Oh yeah, but that's a similar discussion we have going on in Holland as well. Or well, I still read it in the newspapers in the comments. In the Netherlands, you have, from top of my head, 3 political parties who are Christian parties. 2 of them are considered more central parties, so very moderate, and 1 is considered quite extreme religious. I even had to go to the High Court with the last party, the extreme Christian party, had to go to the High Court, and they were ordered to have female politicians. They said, well, women don't belong in politics. They belong at home, taking care of the children and preparing food in the kitchen. That's the only rights women have, and the High Court said, nope, we have equality laws. You need to have women in your party, running for your party, or else there is no party. But we have 3, Holland has 3 religious parties.
Yeah, I've always thought that it was rather ironic
Yeah.
that, like here they'll worry about Sharia law. You know, they'll bitch about how like Middle Eastern countries, are a theocracy, but yet that's technically what they're aiming for here.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, they're actually aiming for it on a federal level, but there's many that would like to see it be that way.
Let me see. What was that sentence? Or the war on Christianity in the U.S. That's the one.
World Christianity, what?
The war on Christianity.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yes. that little thing. So yes.
Yeah, we gotta have that.
No, I still believe.
Really, the dumbasses that are espousing the Constitution, I'm telling you, just irony left and right. The ones, that are espousing the Constitution are the very ones that want the theocracy kind of thing, ignoring the Constitution.
Yep. And that's the other discussion, is where does freedom of religion ends and the freedom of, what was it? Oh yeah. Oh God, I've lost it right now. Give me a second. So this is almost 7 in the morning here. So
I know. You're fine.
Yeah. There's a thin line between, in my opinion, between freedom of religion and the freedom of not having religion in politics or in daily life. As said before many times, I still use the example of Jehovah's Witness. If they're standing outside on the street with a sign, repent, turn back to God, etc., but not bothering anyone with them, that's the freedom they have. But as soon as they start knocking at your door and go like, you need to, then it's like, well, I'm sorry, but now you're denying my freedoms, and that's wrong. Religion, in my eyes, is a personal choice. Keep it personal.
I've only got 5 minutes left in this godforsaken year.
We're getting there.
Oh, yes. But yeah, it's always a difficult topic.
Time to change over.
Yeah, let's change the subject to something more nice.
What is the last time to change over?
Excuse me, Alicia?
Pacific.
The middle
Pacific.
of the ocean?
Oh, the last one would be like Hawaii, or
Yes.
maybe beyond Hawaii.
Yeah, I was thinking it
American
was.
Samoa, I think.
Yeah, that's why I said the middle of the Pacific.
Oh wait, no, is American Samoa across the international date line?
Oh, well, let's
See, I
Google this
don't
one.
know.
Because if they are, then they're already in 2017.
Because they would have started it off.
Mm-hmm.
Tanzania, blah, blah, blah. Let me see.
American Samoa seems to be on our side of the date line.
Are they? They're farther away than Hawaii, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a bit. Their time zone is UTC -11. So
That's the last one then.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see. I've got a timeanddate.com countries, yada yada yada. Sunday, that's my time, so that's 5 hours away from me. Much of U.S. minor outlying islands, Baker Island, Howe Island, those are the last places on Earth to move to 2017. According to this information, Honolulu is 3 hours away from us. Alofi, Midway, Pago, that's 4 hours away. So yeah, those countries or those regions are the last ones. American Samoa is in 4 hours time, and then much of U.S. minor outlying islands.
Well, the minor islands that you're referring to, I think, are uninhabited, aren't they?
Could be. Oh, let me post the link in the DM group so you can have a look for yourself. Oh yeah.
Well,
In short, another 5 hours and the whole world will be in 2017.
like, well, I'm not going to be surprised that when I wake up, in a few hours, that 2016 got another death in before the count. I'll be surprised if that doesn't happen.
What?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, the news of someone's death usually takes a while to disseminate.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, in the news, there will be some celebrity or just some randomly famous person that would have died right before 2017, but the news didn't get out. Like, I know I tweeted about this earlier, but the dude who played the priest dude on MASH, he died.
Mm-hmm.
Aw,
Yeah.
I like him.
Well, I got about a minute left here in 2016.
Yep.
I think it's about time I join the rest of y'all.
Be prepared for some time travel in 1 minute time.
Yes.
With or without a TARDIS.
Why am I staring at a Wikipedia article of the Duke of Edinburgh?
I don't know. But we were talking about it a bit
Expecting him
earlier.
to kill over.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Let me have a look at that diplomacy game.
20 seconds.
Oh. I'm looking at that diplomacy game right now, the wiki article. Playtime 4 to 12 hours.
Holy shit! Yeah, I've never played it. I did not know it took that long.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Welcome to the
Happy
future,
New
mate.
Year, Matt.
Well, now I can go get drunk and put a lampshade on my head.
It looks like a very interesting game. That's for sure.
Supposed to be like
Wait,
that.
I think a bomb went off. Like, I think one of my neighbors is lighting off shit now. Which,
I told people were allowed to make racket.
down here, that means it was really loud.
Well, if there's no limitation on how heavy the firework can be.
Actually, Idaho's got a lot of laws about that, and the police are extremely paranoid about that right now because of the some stupid teenagers that literally lit the whole east end of the town on fire over the summer. So, yeah, I hope they don't get caught. Well, depends on which neighbors. Well, any other bits?
Baker Island is uninhabited.
Yep. Oh.
All right.
Apparently, Franz, Duke of Bavaria, would be the heir to the Jacobite or whatever throne to Scotland.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I can tell you that.
He would be what?
If the kingdom of Scotland were resurrected, he would be the king. Well, based on the succession, even though the kingdom of Scotland hasn't existed for hundreds of years.
You'd have to follow the bloodline.
Yep. And if you did, apparently the guy who would be it is named Franz.
No, I don't think the Scots will accept that. But then again, you never know. Keep in mind, the royal family is quite loved in Britain. Not by everyone, but by a large group. A very large group. So it wouldn't surprise me if they were accepted. Like, we need a royal family.
Yeah, I think she's going to die this year.
Oh,
I don't wish that on anybody, but yeah, she's probably going to die.
Yeah, and hopefully the royals are smart enough to skip one generation, not Charles, and go straight to the next one.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Queen secretly did put something in place where it skips him. Like, that wouldn't actually surprise me at all. But rules, as they're publicly known, say that they have to go to him.
Yes.
The dude's an old fuck by now.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it will go to Harry, or what's the other one? Let's see.
William?
Yeah. I think it's Harry. The one who has already 2 children.
Kate.
Yeah. Let's see.
I do think he's the one that.
Yeah, he's very loved by the people.
Yeah, it's William.
Yeah, William. Yeah, that's the name. Harry is his younger brother. Yeah, William and Kate are quite loved by the people. Charles, I don't think most will even care about him. Especially with what happened to Diana, there is quite a lot of conspiracies going on that Diana was killed by the royal family and he was somehow involved, and the Queen as well. And most people simply don't like him, or a lot of people simply don't like him. And William and Kate.
He's been pretty sketchy.
Yeah, and William and Kate, they actually are going through the country, meeting up with people, talking to people, etc., etc. Same thing that Diana did. And Charles is like his mom. Like, oh, I'm royal, so therefore you must love me. But he has no real connection with the populace. The same with Elizabeth. She has no connection with the population at all, or barely any. Oh, well, we'll see, we'll see.
No, can't tell.
It's either going to be this year or next year, 2018.
Yeah,
Where,
it won't be too long.
Where Argentina starts some shit over the Falkland Islands again.
Oh, they can scream bloody murder all they want.
No,
They're
no.
not-
Here's why I think this. Because not only are they still pissed about it, but they have a president who is just about as crazy as the dude who started the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but she's also running their economy into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And journalists down there are disappearing. So she's gonna have to start some sort of nationalist thing going on. And what do leaders of that country do when they need popularity and quickly?
Yeah.
Start some shit over the Falklands again.
But the whole problem with that would be if Argentina decides to invade the Falklands yet again, they will get a very bloody nose. A lot worse than last time.
Well,
Yes.
She won't think it through, though. She won't think it through. Neither did what's his name, Leopoldo Garibaldi. He didn't think it all the way through either.
No, but back then there were barely any troops stationed at the Falklands. You had a garrison there of a couple of people, a couple of soldiers. That was pretty much it. You had I need to look. Yeah, only they had only like a couple of hundred soldiers there and a standing army with Falklanders. The islands were barely protected in the early 80s. Now there are heavily the Falklands are right now heavily fortified against another invasion. It doesn't mean they can stop it, but they can provide enough time for other troops, for reinforcements to come in.
Oh, she's gonna lose definitely, but
yes.
It's going to happen this year or the next, and she's probably going to be put up in one of those tribunals, just like the last dude was.
Yes. No, Argentina will never get the Falklands unless the population of the Falklands
either.
Yeah, we're going to secede from the Union and join Argentina. In the last referendum they held, it was pretty much 99% of the population said, nope, we want to stay in Britain.
I remember that. It was something like 3 people voted, everybody else.
Yeah. And we're talking about not just a couple of people, like 51% of the population showing up for the referendum. And all we're talking about almost everyone showing up for the referendum and saying, nope, this is not going to happen. So the Falklands are British. They will stay British no matter what happens. So.
Nope. Yeah. See anything else happening this year? I think Canada's going to be involved in some, but because they're all sketchy fucks. But I don't know what. Well, anything else before I go pass out?
I don't know.
Allahu Akbar and Hail Satan.
Those are the same things.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the broadcast now. If you actually watch this, I actually feel sorry for you.
Yeah, me too.